Did you say someone's missing?
Yes, Isabela, another member of the field study. I checked on her after the first tremors this morning, but her tent was empty.
You should ask Manu. He probably told her where to find El Dorado.
This is serious. We had a fight last night. A bad one.
I'm sorry, Guillermo. I didn't realize. Please, continue.
You had a fight. I don't mean to pry, but...
It's all right. We've been very close friends for almost a year, and I think both of us would like there to be more, but neither of us has broached the subject. Isa and Sarah, they often don't get along. Sorry, Sarah, but it's true. Because Sarah insists on her team being very down-to-earth, while Isa has a passion for folkloric tales of hidden temples. I often get caught in the middle.
Those stories always come from somewhere. Even if most of it is made up, there'll be some kernel of truth to it.
That's Isa's viewpoint too. Anyway, there's an old blind man who lives here named Manu who's full of these kinds of stories. He convinced her there's a secret crypt hidden around here, and last night she asked me to come with her and find it. I refused, and we got into the old fight. It ended with her calling me a hidebound coward and me calling her a foolish child.
So she ran off.
Yes. To, as she put it, prove all you naysayers wrong. This morning I heard rumors that she vandalized the cemetery last night. That's when I started looking for her. When I found her missing with no one knowing anything, I started to worry. What if she went looking for the crypt and something happened? I can never forgive myself.
All right. You stay here, so if there's news or she comes back, you'll know about it. I'll go looking for Isabela, starting with the cemetery.
You do that?
To be honest, I'm as curious about that crypt as she is.
You're overreacting.
You kidding?
She wasted enough of my time. I know you're...
Abby's friend mentioned a crypt somewhere around the library. I'll meet you there. I'm happy Jonah's alive. He makes friends so easily. I probably would have walked here to the mission, but Jonah, he just asked Abby for a ride and she said yes. I hope we're in the right place and we can find the box before Trinity. The earthquake hit last night at the oil facility and now there's a volcano. Is this where the next cataclysm will hit? We have to end this before this town ends up like Cozumel. I don't hear anything.
Exactly. She must be close.
She?
The Empress Jaguar. As soon as she shows up, every other animal shuts up. No need to attract her attention, right?
Right. Shouldn't we be quiet too, then?
Okay.
18th of December, 1604. I've neglected this journal for far too long. We've worked hard to build the mission. Every day more people arrive. Native villagers seeking conversion, soldiers tired of war, others whose faith has been tested by the long, dangerous journey through the jungle, all lured by Lopez's gospel of purity through labor. We work from sunrise to sunset, and then Lopez, or Angel de la Cruz as he now calls himself, spends his evening preaching the mission's purpose, to test the chosen one. He's calmed considerably, and if he believes something pursues him still, he keeps it to himself. Tomorrow we begin to build the library, where the box will safely rest until it is ready to be found by the chosen one.
Oh.
You know, it seems like every few years, God throws a disaster this way.
I can see that the earthquake caused a lot of damage.
Nothing we can't fix with enough time. And materials. Unfortunately, one of those is in short supply.
Now, this is a fascinating concept. The Miracle Club. Come meet people that share your beliefs, devotion, and taste for adventure. Create lifelong memories as you travel the world together. It's a Christian singles group dedicated to visiting pilgrimage sites.
Dicen que la hora más oscura es justo antes del amanecer. ¿Puede ser verdad? Merece un castigo.
Te lo aseguro. Si se comprueba algo, así será. Pero no me queda claro lo que pasó y quisiera volver a escuchar la historia. Ana y José. ¿Las llamas?
This is an official document issued recently by the Holy See. In consideration of this mission having been badly damaged by an unusually violent and entirely unexpected volcanic tremor, they sent requests to every Spanish-speaking diocese, asking them to consider sending missionaries to restore and rebuild this holy site.
Jóvenes y osadas subieron más y más por la montaña y el aire se iba haciendo cada vez más denso y frío justo cuando estaban a punto de llegar a la...
That's quite a bow you have. You must be a hunter. The mission could use a hunter. Ever since before the earthquake, we've been plagued by wolves. I can't let these children out of my sight for a second. Just the other day, I saw this one out on the road, running after a wolf. Can you believe that? He said he only wanted to play. as though he expected the wolves to roll over and chase sticks.
Bueno, tu turno. Fina.
Este que tiene 400 años.
December 1603. Lopez has just returned from a nearby village, and with him came a group he says will follow him and help us with construction. There was something strange about his behavior. I attributed it to the long journey through the jungle. That night, however, he admitted what had been bothering him. They followed me, he whispered. The others. He walked off. I spent that sleepless night worrying about his deviations toward madness.
So there's a crypt around here somewhere?
A secret crypt.
Why secret? If Lopez is involved, there's bound to be a trick.
That's a solid theory. What about you? Did you find anything?
I got a pamphlet. 7 steps closer to God.
Who knows? Maybe it'll help.
I'll wait here for you.
Strange there are only 7 stations. This must be based on an older tradition. Jesus takes up the cross, falls the first time, meets his mother. Then Veronica wipes his face before he falls the second time. Then he is crucified and finally entombed.
I'll wait here for you.
Someone once said if you really want to learn about a town, you have to visit their graveyards. I don't know why. One is the same as the next. Some might be a little more orderly, with neat rows, or they're like this one, where it feels more natural and unplanned.
You're not getting our hands on our treasure. I don't care about fish. I care about what I get. Watch out! He's going to cast a spell on us!
These collars were used abroad in Nostromo, likely ferrying the captured indigenous people back to Spain to be sold as slaves.
Work.
Calling me a witch. Imagine.
I'm sorry?
I'm a herbalist. A shamefully unrecognized branch of medical science. And that child's grandmother was a dowser. The things people ignore that are right in front of their noses.
Some people are afraid to believe in what they can't understand.
Ha! You sound like Isa.
Isabella, the archaeologist. You know her.
A smart girl. A good researcher. And unafraid to admit there are things she doesn't know. She's the one who broke the cross. By climbing on it. I don't know what was in her head. I tried to stop her, but she was very upset about something. Angry and full of grief at the same time.
Do you know where she is now? I'm looking for her.
I don't know. After the cross broke, she ran away, but I didn't see which direction. In the state she was in, I knew better than to try to interfere with her. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You've given me more information than I had. Do you need some help with this cross?
I do, but first we have to get those children out of the way. It isn't safe for them to be running around while we work. That blind trickster filled their heads with tales of treasure, and they think I mean to steal it.
I'll talk to them.
Hey, get away from here. It's our treasure.
It's getting quite late. How about postponing the hunt until tomorrow?
No, we're not leaving till we find it.
We'll sleep here if we have to.
Oh, I hope it doesn't come to that. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, we told you. You're not getting our treasure. Manu said if we find it, we can keep it.
That's a shame. The sisters told me you were very good at sharing, and I do know a lot about treasure hunting.
You know the sisters?
She could tell on us.
I won't tell if you won't tell. I have a secret too. I'm the brave adventurer Lara Croft.
Whoa! We won't tell. You can help us. If you find the treasure, we'll split it, even.
You've got a deal. What do you need?
Manu told us we need to solve a riddle to find the treasure.
Are you any good at riddles?
I'm an expert. Let's hear it.
I want you to take my supply.
I'm nourished when the heavens cry.
If I get sick, a village dies.
Who am I?
You must do something to get those children out from underfoot.
There's something there. Could be something. Looks like there's something here. Fool's gold and costume jewelry. But the kids will love it.
So did you find anything?
I sure did. Look at this.
We're rich. Hold on, hold on. We said everyone gets an equal share, so...
Oh no, I couldn't possibly accept any of your treasure.
You mean it?
Absolutely.
I knew it right away when I saw you. I said there's a real hero.
Please, please, it was nothing. I only did what any reasonable person would do.
Thanks for finding the treasure. We're going to show it to Manu.
I don't know how you got Diego and the rest of those kids out of the way, but I'm glad you did. Now we can get to work.
I think Diego's frozen.
Where should we start?
Over this way. Thank you for your help, and I hope you find Isa. I'm worried about her. I wish I knew why Isabella was trying to climb the cross. Maybe something about the cross can show you where Isa went.
There's an inscription. Look through me to find the way.
It's still frozen.
I wish I knew why Isabella was trying to climb the cross.
Hijo de nuestra amada Virgen, cuánto deseo que mis hijos y yo podamos parecernos a ti en pureza de corazón, en el amor por Jesús y el devoción a
Oh, we're here for you.
Someone once said if you really want to learn about a town, you have to visit their graveyards. I don't know.
Feels like a mausoleum.
Means we're on the right track, right? Jonah, I feel something. We're getting close. Let's look around for signs of Lopez.
These notes were written by the founder of the Sector 7. They're talking about funds allocated for renovations to the library.
Under his wings you may seek refuge. Under his wings. And under his wings you may seek refuge. And under his wings you may seek refuge. And an eclipse. December 1603. It has been 4 days since we turned away from the city. We traveled in silence and in circles, guided by a confusion of grief, relief, and celebration. Lopez and I exited the jungle and landed in a clearing, under the gaze of several faces carved into the side of the mountain. Lopez had an episode, as he later called it. He threw himself in front of the faces and screamed for forgiveness. The heaviest sin on his heart was abandoning Perez to the strange warriors. They had grown close over the journey. Try as I might, I could not console him, so I built a fire and waited, as he decreed his actions and pleaded for forgiveness from the silent stone faces. 26th of December, 1603. Lopez woke me, having already prepared a Spartan breakfast. "This is where we were meant to be," he said, a cold determination in his voice, so very different from how he acted just the day before. I finished my meal as he spoke of holy retribution, how he had acted in error, but now God had put his hands on his shoulders and shown him the path to walk. John, son of Zebedee, one of Jesus' apostles, also called the beloved disciple. He and his brother James were known for their impetuousness and temper, which prompted Christ to start calling them Boanerges, sons of thunder. John is credited with writing 5 books of the New Testament, the Gospel of John, the 3 epistles of John, and the Book of Revelation. He's the patron saint of love and loyalty, as well as writers, publishers, and scholars. One of his symbols is a serpent in a cup, which is linked to his patronage of victims of poisoning and burns. The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. Jonah, those 2 Bible quotes. The sun will be darkened, and under his wings you may seek refuge.
What does it mean?
That's it. Look for a heron and an eclipse. The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. This roughly drawn sketch shows St. John repelling a demon attack. Perhaps they plan to have this as one of the frescoes in the mission.
Tardaremos eternidades. ¿Cuántos años?
Stone faces weep as Jesus creeps along a dolorous path. Too many died. More will still, and more will still, and more will still. His light leads the way.
Un paso a la vez. Un día a la vez. Como si tuviéramos elección.
Brother de la Cruz appeared one day, emerging from the jungle, breathing new life into the mission. There were just the 3 of us when he arrived, and Sister Dorothea had been ill for many weeks. He and his associate began to work that first day. By the next week, de la Cruz had recruited a workforce of 3 dozen. They had prepared the bell tower and worked the fields, planting crops. Brother de la Cruz aims to make us self-sufficient. We'd spent so long alone out here, I'd worried we'd lose God's ear. Lo and behold, we not only had his ear, but he sent another to act as his hands as well. mural under here. Veracruz, the true cross.
Is that what I think it is?
The silver box. It's unmistakable.
Jesus takes up the cross. These are the stations of the cross. But there's a bunch missing.
Before 1600, there were only 7. This could date back to the time of Lopez.
This is one of his clues.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing he does.
All right. Let's see if we can find a cross line around here somewhere. When we find the box, how do we get the key back from Dominguez?
We'll find a way.
Etzli is young to have all that responsibility. Must be pretty hard for him.
I can only imagine. The door closed and a silence settled, so great and so vast I held my breath for fear of breaking it. Lopez turned to me, his eyes wild, a smile screwed across his face. He came toward me, arms outstretched, and for a moment fear flickered across my heart. But he pulled me close, his fingers digging into my shoulders. I found it, he whispered in my ear, and releasing me, he wandered through this room. Walls of pure jade reaching up to the heavens, completely covered in intricate etched mosaics and carved figures. I followed at a distance as he approached an altar, and watched as he lifted a silver box from it. The others are worried that Brothers de la Cruz and Serrano will not return. I have so far maintained they will, that they always have. But in my heart I am beginning to believe we have seen the last of them, and that grief weighs heavily. We will continue their work. Either they will return to find we have not forgotten the teachings, or they will look down on us from above, and bless our continued labors.
Something?
Yeah. Jesus takes up the cross. Help me lift this. Looks like a long way down. Let's see where this leads. Station 2. Jesus pulls the first time.
There's an inscription here. Ambulate dum
I'll need to move the cart to direct the light we walk while you have the light. I'll need to move the cart to direct the light beam to the door.
to be buried in here, with my head tossed behind a cross somewhere.
Walk while you have the light, so that the darkness may not overtake you.
Sounds like a hint.
Or a threat.
This looks like the Virgin Mary.
Station 3. Jesus meets his mother.
The mirror looks dusty. I'll give you a boost. Hey, it worked. The light leads this way. What happened to these people?
Looks like the light activated something.
Laura! Are you alright? You're lucky it was a little rusted.
This must be Station 4.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these frescoes. I'll need to direct the light beam towards the fresco of Veronica. I'll need to direct the light beam towards the fresco of Veronica. I'll need to direct the light beam toward... Look, someone else got close. He wasn't as lucky. Looks like he's accepting the cross here. There's a woman in this one.
These people look like they were tortured. Hung up in the ceiling.
I don't think this was just a crypt.